Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Beth, here to help you fulfill your potential in meditation. As most of you know, I don't have just one method that I teach to everybody, like one size fits all. Instead, I much prefer to teach people one-on-one, and the reason is that you're all different. So please use these videos as a guideline, and if there's anything that doesn't quite work for you, anything that doesn't quite fit, then be in touch and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you individually. Today's video is about the wise use of the things that we consume. In monastic life, we call this wise reflection on our requisites, meaning the things that we need to use in order to do the practice. Now, as most of you know, when we come to meditation, one of the main forces that we're trying to overcome in the mind is the force of craving. And that's all the more difficult when in our daily lives we're living a life that is fueled by craving, fueled by wanting this, wanting that, wanting the other. Now, it's difficult enough to overcome that force of craving when you're living in a monastery, let alone when you're living in a city, for example, where so many forces are pulling you into this wanting to consume. So how do we reflect on the things that we consume wisely, and how do we know where to draw the lines between what we need to consume and what we don't really need to consume, what is just our greed? In monastic life, it's really simple. The things that we really need were defined by the Buddha, things like our food, our sleeping place, our robes, our medicines. And we have a daily practice of reciting chanting to help us reflect wisely on the use of those things. Now, that's something that we can bring into our lay life as well. We can bring that into our everyday life. But in everyday life, for most of us, there are going to be more things that we need as well. In this day and age, most of us will need access to some kind of technology. Maybe we'll need access to a vehicle, different kinds of furniture, maybe things you want to put in your kitchen, lots of different things it might be that we need. So how do we know where to draw the line? Well, one helpful simile I like to use is of a tree, if we imagine ourselves like a tree. And the first question that we ask is, what is the fruit that I want to give in the world? In other words, what service do I want to do to the world? What is the gift that I want to give in this lifetime to the world? And when we've got that really clear, then we can start asking ourselves, okay, what kind of things do I need? What kind of things, nourishment, do my roots need to suck up from the world in order for me to be able to give this fruit? In my case, for example, in order to teach meditation, I need the place to stay, I need time each year for retreat, I need nourishing food, many things that I need. But I can consume those things free from remorse, free from guilt, knowing that I'm going to transform them into something beautiful. There's this quote from Khalil Gibran that I love where he says, "The fruit cannot say to the root, 'Be like me, ripe and full and ever giving of your abundance.' To the fruit, giving is a need, as receiving is a need to the root." And so, as beings, we have both. We have the need to give and to be of service, and we also have the need to receive. So can we frame the things that we receive in relation to the things that we want to contribute, that we want to give? Once we have it clear whether something that we're consuming is actually nourishing us to give, or whether it's something that is extra, we don't really need it after all, then it becomes clear which things we should be consuming and which things we should not. And also it helps us to reflect wisely on the things that we do consume, the things that we do need. We can reflect on those things with gratitude. Thank you, these things are available, that they can nourish me to do the work that I want to do in the world. We can use those things with gratitude and respect. I'm going to put in the link just underneath this video the different types of monastic reflections and chantings that we do on our monastic requisites, on our food, shelter, robes and medicines. I'd encourage you to read those and maybe bring those reflections or a variation of them into your daily lives. And alongside that, you might like to come up with your own reflections for the other things that you need to consume. Maybe you can come up with a wise reflection for your phone, for example. In what wise ways can you use your phone to help you to bear the fruit that you want to bear in the world? That's all that I have to say today on the wise reflection of the things that we consume. What I would suggest is that you get off of the screens, get onto the meditation cushions and do some practice. It's through doing the practice that we start to become more familiar with the way that this force of craving is affecting the mind, and how important it is to limit that force of craving, not only in our meditation, but also in our daily lives. If you're encountering any difficulty, then be in touch with me and I'll be more than happy to discuss these things with you individually. As most of you know, I do all of my work on a donation basis, so I encourage you to support me either through Patreon or through my website so that I can continue to make these videos. Thank you so much for your support. Wishing you the best with your meditation.